Hello, 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 beautiful people. It is great to be back with you. We took a week off because I was at the Women in Mining Conference, which we talked about the last time we were on live. And it was a phenomenal experience. So I'm going to get into that a little bit, not just the conference specifically, because I'm going to save some of my thoughts on the conference specifically because I have invited quite a few of the women who I was at the conference with to join me on the Career Gems for the Journey podcast and on LinkedIn Live. So you're going to hear some of the tidbits and some of the stories directly from those individuals. So I'm not going to do a full recap on the conference. But before I jump into what we are going to talk about today, I want to just welcome anybody who is joining us for the first time. And thank you. Shout out to all the folks who've been riding with us for a really long time, been on this Career Gems for the Journey live experience. Because I really do appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me live and whatever platform you're joining me on, whether that's YouTube or whether that's LinkedIn or for everybody who's listening on the replay. Shout out to those who are listening on the replay, whether it's in podcast mode or whatever it is you're doing. The replay has done a lot of really amazing things. And I'm so grateful that you guys consistently think that the content that we're sharing on the platform is something that's worth distributing, right? Introducing to new people, expanding through you sharing the link to the replay. So I'm really grateful for that. So shout out to all of you for that. And if you're with me live, please do drop your city in the chat. I would appreciate knowing who is here, who is having this experience with me live. And this is going to be a short one. And it's short because I want to make sure that I'm only in front of you as long as absolutely necessary, because I know that your time is valuable. But also, we just have so many new and exciting things that are coming up. I wanted to put it all together here in this place in a live, just to give you a sense of what's on the horizon. And then we'll be able to run fast, right? Once everybody knows and folks get informed and the word gets out, then we'll have this opportunity to continue to build and really drive some evolution to what you all have experienced. And we've listened to your feedback. We've sent out a number of surveys and heard from our listening community. And I am just thrilled for what's to come. So welcome to all of those folks. First, as we think about some of the changes that are coming down from Career Gems for the Journey, let me just tell you what's not changing. What's not changing is we will continue to be here live with you once a week. We have committed to doing that because we think that this community and this network of individuals that we've built that is all across the United States is absolutely one that is fruitful and one that we want to see continue to grow. And personally, it's one that I am enriched by. Like, I just feel like I am the beneficiary of such a wonderful network of people that I don't want to give that up. And I want it to continue to exist for new people that I come in contact with or that I'm in community with. So that's not changing. The other thing that's not changing is the Career Gems for the Journey podcast. So you'll be able to find the Career Gems for the Journey podcast wherever you get your podcast. That will continue to exist. That format is going to move between bi-weekly. So you'll be able to hear episodes about every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks for the Career Gems for the Journey podcast. We're being really intentional about the guests that we're bringing on the Career Gems for the Journey podcast. And we want to make sure that we produce episodes that are super aligned to what the experience is that we're working to create from the Career Gems for the Journey community, and also really dialed into what our listeners want to hear. And what we have heard from you is you want more content that's specifically in the paths around career and care. So we started to cultivate a list and started to cultivate these questions and podcast guests and recommendations and people that we want to make sure that we incorporate. And we want to make sure that we continue to build content that's in the areas of career and care, and that is the richest intersection possible for professionals who are navigating their life, right? And career and care are a big part of our lives. And oftentimes we are moving at a rate that doesn't allow us to cultivate or to design some of the things in our own understanding. So we want to be a help. We want to support you in getting your needs met, getting your professional needs met, as well as making sure that your personal self is fully enriched and is fulfilled, and you're getting the needs of your mental, physical, emotional health all met. Now, we are not in any way therapists. We are not psychologists. We are not doctors. So I am not giving you any impression that that is the direction that we're going to take it. But we are going to spend more time talking about career and care and kind of that intersection and how it's super important to make sure that we keep both of those things at the center as we live. So I wanted to let you guys know that every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, you'll start to see podcast episodes that align to those two topics. So we're going to keep the core of career, which is where we've been and what we're really known for, and the part that I find to be really exciting and really interesting, and sometimes terrifying, sometimes very scary, sometimes compelling us to move well out of our comfort zone. And sometimes we're looking for people and resources to help us make these big decisions. And that's what we want to remain, a credible, highly invested source of information for all of our clients and our community. And we want to add in the element of care because we learned a ton from the Career and Care Summit and from several other events and engagements, and surveys and comments and DMs and all the things. So we want to incorporate that. So as you think about what you're going to see and hear on the LinkedIn Live and YouTube channel, and then what you hear on the podcast, we want it to always feel like it is tapping into one of those two areas. We've also heard a lot of people ask more around entrepreneurship, and not about how to develop or become an entrepreneur, but more of what my journey and what my experience has been in someone who spent a lot of time in corporate, had a phenomenal corporate career. I mean, if I do say so myself, I thought it was phenomenal. It was pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned. So had that career and now supports other women and men who are working in corporate now, and what the entrepreneurship journey looks like for me. So I am down to share, right? I am down to make sure that I am as honest and transparent as I can be about what entrepreneurship looks like from this side of the desk. And I'm excited to take you all on the journey with me as I seek to do new, more exciting things with Career Gems for the Journey. So those are the things that are not changing. That is a little bit of what will change, right? You'll start to see new content that is tied into care. The other thing that you see that will change is I will be spending more time speaking at conferences and events in person. So we're already seeing what the back half of the year or the back half of Q2 and the rest of the year will look like. And there will be a lot more opportunities where I will be out at organizations, at universities, at companies, and I will try to share as much of that as possible. When that information is public and when it is something that other folks can join into, I will make sure to share those opportunities with you. It is something that I'm personally passionate about, and I'm really feeling excited and a little bit nervous. There was a huge demand for in-person engagements and live events coming out of a lockdown period. And I think we're well past the lockdown period, but now I'm really seeing the momentum pick up for those events. And as that momentum picks up, I am actually excited as somebody who enjoys being with people for appropriate amounts of time, and then still needs to rest and recover. I'm really looking forward to being able to be in person with more events, things that are not necessarily affiliated directly with Career Gems for the Journey, but certainly opportunities where we feel like it's a good partnership or a collaboration. So you will see that change. And you'll see that change, and we will do our very best to make sure that we communicate that and let you know where I'm going to be, so that if you want to pull up in person, if you want to have an in-person experience, we will make that possible, and we'll do our best to communicate that as early as possible. And then the last thing that you'll see is with that additional amounts of travel, we will kind of offset. And sometimes we won't be on live because we'll be traveling or on the road. And we'll do our best to make sure that you have some recap, or that we recommend podcast episodes on the weeks that we're not going live. So it makes sure that that gap doesn't, if you have gotten consistent in being with us, and we have a lot of folks who ride with us on our lives, and you've gotten consistent to being with us and you expect to hear something from us at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, we want to make sure we can still provide that. So we'll do a catch the replay, or we'll recommend a podcast episode, because we want to make sure that we give a great in-person experience and that the clients that we're there with in person gets the full breadth. But I'm also going to try to do my best to do more ad hoc, like off of my office or off of our recording area, type of content, where we may do live podcasts, or we may do a little bit more of the behind the scenes experience as we're traveling to the conferences or as we're prepping for them. So we want to do that just to be really honest about what it looks like to make this kind of shift in the work that we do. Now, finally, the thing that you absolutely will not see change is the core of our business is to support executives, leaders within organization to build thriving careers. That's the core of our business. It's the foundation. Executive coaching, group coaching, and programs that are tied to people, organizations, and companies. That is the core of our business, our foundation. That will not change. So you'll still be able to come to us to be able to partner offline. Like, I love an online experience, but we are still really very much focusing on partnering offline with our clients, with our one-on-one coaching clients. And I absolutely still love that work. I get a lot out of it. It feels very gratifying. So I'm going to continue that. So just a quick heads up for the things that some small changes that are coming that you will notice if you've been riding with us for a while. If you're new to riding with us on the live, you will have a even better experience, we hope. You'll have an even better experience in the images that you're going to see, in the quality of the video and the recording, and in the microphones. You'll see what we hope is a really upgraded experience. And we are looking forward to all of you being a part of that and continuing on this journey with us. We're also looking forward for you to introduce Career Gems We're also looking forward for you to introduce Career Gems for the Journey to others in your life, to your friends, to your coworkers, to your loved ones, so that we can make sure that the right people are getting to be able to join us. The right people are a part of the community. The right people are getting what we believe is a really rich and robust set of content, specifically around career and care. So I'm going to do a quick recap on what's not changing. What's not changing is we'll still be here with you weekly, and we will go live. And the weeks that we are traveling or we are unavailable, we'll make sure to give you a podcast episode or something to remind you that we may not be here live in person, but we may do a pre-recorded episode or something to make sure that we still fill that gap, because we really do enjoy, and folks have reached out to us and said that this is something that's important to them and it helps them in their work week. So we love that. So we will still continue to be live. We will still continue to do career content. We are still really, really deep down into that and love that. And there's some new areas that we're going to explore that are all tied to career, because the world has changed and we want to make sure that we give you that relevant topic, that content. But we're going to incorporate more content around care and the intersection between career and care. And that is going to be something that we believe is going to evolve and really blossom. And we're going to try to make sure that those feel like they are series, and those series are really digestible, something that you can listen to in less than 30 minutes, something that you can share or be able to refer back to. So we're going to incorporate more work around care. And the other thing that you're going to see from us is we're going to be doing more traveling. So we're going to travel. I'm going to be at more conferences, more universities, more companies speaking, and in navigating that, that's going to be a change to what you've seen thus far. But we're going to make sure to bring you along on that journey and do a lot of behind the scenes and a lot of experiential content that helps you to see what we're doing and where our priorities are. But it also will just help to bridge the gap for us to be more connected to you, especially if you want to pull up and join us in person at one of these events in one of these locations. So we'll try to be really good about communicating that to you. And we look forward to being able to engage and be with you all more in person. So we're really, really thrilled for that. And you will also have the benefit of getting a sense of what is real from an entrepreneurial experience of a small company that is building really from the core of a purpose, and the purpose really feeling like we are on a mission to support professionals in building thriving careers, and we want to be the navigator as you are the captain of the ship. But we're also going to go deeper into topics around compensation and negotiation and all the things that we are well known for, but in the context of this changing landscape. We want to make sure that what we're talking about is relevant and fresh and very intentional for our audience. So we're really looking forward to that. So I appreciate you guys riding with me live today for our overall update. And so you know the changes that are happening. So when you start to see changes in the audio or changes in the images or changes in the backgrounds and all the places that we will take you, you're like, oh yeah, we mentioned this. I saw this coming. And we believe that it's going to really enrich the experience. We believe that it's going to help us to create a better environment and a better community. And we want to continue to invest. And we want to make sure that we incorporate your feedback. So we heard from you, and now we're ready to put it into action. So keep your eyes peeled. We will be back next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And when we are, you will see some of those changes that are already in place. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to grow this platform and the work that we do with this community. And for anybody who is joining us for the first time today, come back next week. It's going to be even flyer. Absolutely going to be even flyer. So thrilled about that. Looking forward to being able to connect with you all. And the next time we're together, I will talk a little bit more about the Women in Mining Conference. Hopefully we'll have some of the folks who were at the conference to join us live. If not, we will do a full recap. The last time we talked about, do you hate networking, or are you uncomfortable talking about yourself and your accomplishments? So we're going to pull that thread. We're going to go deeper into what it feels like to do it well, right? To talk about yourself, to network, to build relationships. That's going to remain important. But we're also going to give some examples of when it doesn't go well. We need to be honest, and we need to make sure that folks know that it's not going to be perfect the first time. So I want to give you substantive ways to go about building your network at in-person events, because you're going to start to see me operate at more of them, and you're going to start to see the demand for them get higher as the seasons change, as people are outside more. There are going to be lots of opportunities to be able to connect with people, and I don't want you to miss out on any of that. And it doesn't always have to be a formal conference event. It could be a concert. It could be any kind of opportunity where you're engaging with somebody in person. So we want to just sharpen those skills, and we want to make sure that you feel well equipped to go into any environment and to be able to contribute to an experience in person, a great conversation with someone. And we want to make sure that you extract value from that experience also. So these are mutually beneficial arrangements that, if done well, everybody can come out getting a need met. And we're excited to be able to broker that with you going forward. So looking forward to seeing you all next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here. We'll be pulling that thread a little bit more on in-person events and how to network, how to bring those connections to the table, and just what the potential is for those reactions, those relationships, what comes next after the initial networking. How do you make that relationship a part of your life? How do you make that relationship a part of your business? How do you make that relationship a part of your career story? So if you're interested in that, or you think somebody else you know is, drop them a line. Make sure they're with us next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I absolutely appreciate you for riding with me, and I will see you on the other side. In the meantime, make your journey work for you.